teeth, the whole thing. Yeah, it's crazed. Wow. Snakehead fish. A voracious predator from China that threatens native fish. More than 100 snakeheads have been found in the pond since the first discovery in May. The department said they traced the fish to a man who dumped a male and female snakehead 2 years ago after they outgrew his fish tank. With us here in the studio to discuss this is Dr. Charles Broyhill, a marine biologist here at UCLA. Good morning, Dr. Broyhill.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good, sir.
As you said, they finally appear to found a solution to ridding our country's lakes with the infamous northern snakehead. Very dangerous.
Yeah, it is very dangerous, what we understand.
However, there's another fish we recently discovered that is far more dangerous and far more diabolical than the snakehead.
And what is that?
I'm speaking, of course, of the dreaded northern dickhead fish.
Oh, the dickhead.
Yes, like the snakehead, the dickheads were brought to this country from Asia by people thinking they would be making good pets. Unfortunately, they brought their dickheads home, became alarmed at how big the dickheads got, and then released the dickheads into lakes where they mated and gave birth to hundreds of more dickheads.
Oh, you did. Thank you again for coming in this morning.
My pleasure. More than half of the lakes on the West Coast are literally crawling with dickheads.
Oh,
yes, Lake Arrowhead is full of dickheads. Lake Harris has tons of dickheads. And Lake Tahoe is like, a dickhead convention up there. As a scientist and head of the Dickhead Task Force, I've got to find a way to rid the lakes of these dickheads.
Yes.
As of now, our best hopes appear to be a giant vacuum called a dickhead sucker that we place into the lake.
A little technical for us, sir, but go ahead.
Yes. In order to suck the dickheads, it has to be really strong because dickheads live at the bottom of the lake,
right,
which is ribbed for the dickhead's pleasure. Dickheads grow very quickly, and in no time they turn into really big dickheads. They thrive on beer, actually, beer that people dump into the lake, and the more beer they drink, the bigger the dickheads become. With fall coming, we need to find those dickheads and kill them, because cooler water shrinks dickheads.
Didn't realize that was the case.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes, and a small, shriveled up dickhead is harder to find than a large, rigid one.
Good to know.
The dickhead's main food source is a fish called the big bung, which live in holes in the lakeside bed. Unfortunately, the big bung holes are so dark and dirty that it's impossible to find a dickhead once he's gone inside the big bung hole.
Again, very scientific. Thank you for breaking it down for us.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Dickheads are actually quite tasty, but you definitely do not want to put a dickhead in your mouth once he's been in a big bung hole.
You don't want to do that because...
Dickheads are almost as big a threat to our environment as the new species of incredibly small beavers called beaver queefs. Queef is a Latin word meaning small.
I see.
Yes. What makes beaver queefs so annoying is that they're incredibly loud.
Right.
You see, you can hear a beaver queef up to a mile away.
Didn't realize.
Yes.
Be damned.
And a group of beaver queefs, known as a cronk of beaver queefs, can be heard up to 10 miles away.
How they deaf.
But neither the dickhead nor the big bung nor the beaver queef is as big a threat to our ecosystem as a fish known as the schifferbrains fish.
Schifferbrains.
Schiffer meaning small, and furbrains is a Chinese term meaning furry-headed. So schifferbrains means literally small furry-headed fish. Yes, the schifferbrains is probably the dumbest fish that man has ever known.
Wow.
There is a version of this fish called Way to Go Schifferbrain. That's even dumber than the schifferbrain. Nevertheless, both fish are still extremely dangerous and need to be eradicated.
The old way to go.
The old way to go, shipper brains.
Tell you.
Just a smaller, dumber fish.
To be dreaded.
Yes. That's about all the information we have at this point on these very, very dangerous Asian fish.
Listen, cannot thank you enough for taking your time to come in and tell us about all of these issues that you're dealing with there in the ponds of America. Did not know.
It's my pleasure. I enjoy your fellow show very much.
Thank you, sir, and do come back again sometime. Give us an update.
You betcha.
All right, see you soon.
All right.
Dr. Broyhill, our thanks going out. Dr. Broyhill from, of course, UCLA.